everyone, and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at the Rainmaker 3-pack from Transformers Siege War for Cybertron Trilogy. This is comprised of Acid Storm, Ion Storm, and Nova Storm. So very cool, very excited to find this 3-pack. I just found it at my local Target. It was the only one they had. I don't know if these are Target exclusives or if they're just not showing up anywhere else, but as far as I know, the only place people have been finding them is Target's. Target does have a shelf spot for them, but I got there and the worker that was putting them out, she said it was the only one that they had. So she gave it to me. I was very excited to find it. Very large window packaging here, all three of them. This retails for $79.99, which if you think about it is kind of a deal because normally 3 Voyagers would be 30 each, so 90. So you're kind of saving 10 bucks. So not too bad. Over on this side, you have that kind of picture that we always have. Over here, you have a pretty cool picture of the 3 in the jet modes, and it says Voyager class down there on the side. Spinning this around and taking a look at the back, you can see, again, robot mode, vehicle mode for all 3. Very, very cool. I'm going to go ahead and get these guys out of the box here, and we'll take a closer look. Here are all 3 of them out of the packaging, and I have to say, they look great. I love the bright colors. I love the completely different colors going on here. I do wish that they had a little bit of white kind of intermix. Like, you can see that they all have it a little bit at the waist. Maybe if just, like, the thighs were white, or maybe the kind of forearm or, like, bicep in between the forearm or something was just a little bit different color. Just so it's not a complete solid, blue or green or yellow. They still look good, and I'm very happy to have them. And they do have that kind of siege battle damage that we're used to, and that does introduce another color, so at least we have that. But I would have liked just a little bit more white. And I could be just misremembering how they appeared in the original cartoon. It's been a minute since I've seen their appearance in the original G1 cartoon, so I don't remember it very well. And when I look up pictures online, some of them look exactly like this, where it's just all green. Some of them have a little bit more white sparse throughout. So either way, I'm happy to have these guys. I think they look fantastic. Very, very excited to find this pack. I'll go through articulation. I mean, you've seen this mold twice already. You're going to see it a few more times. It's exactly the same as Starscream and Red Wing. We're going to eventually get Thundercracker and Skywarp, so we're going to have at least 6 of these guys. Actually, 7 of these guys by the time we're done. And I don't even know if they're going to get to Coneheads or not. But we'll see. But yeah, you can see the facial expression pretty similar on all 3 of these guys. Solid silver face with, I believe, light-piped eyes underneath there. Take a look at Ion Storm. He's got a little bit more of a grimace. And then Sunstorm has kind of like a little bit of a frown. So their heads are slightly different. The facial expression on the 3 is slightly different. I just want to make sure I'm calling these guys Nova Storm. I'm sorry, I keep wanting to call him Sunspot or Sunstorm because I think there was another Seeker called Sunstorm, but he's Nova Storm. And I don't know if that's just like we lost the rights to the other name kind of thing, or if the character's actually called Nova Storm. Again, it's been a minute for me, but call him whatever you like. This is definitely Acid Storm and Ion Storm, and then we got Nova Storm over here. If you want to call him Sunstorm, hey, it's your toy. Do what you want. But yeah, very excited for these guys. Again, back to articulation. Head is on a ball joint, so that can move around. Also, that hinge for the transformation kind of makes him move around a little bit as well. Shoulders, swivel here. You can a little bit out to the side like this, as well as up and down. Biceps swivel. I would say pretty good range of motion. There's actually 2 joints there in the elbow. Wrist can swivel. You have a swivel here in the waist. Hip can go out to the side, front to back. Obviously the wings hit a little bit. Thighs swivel there. A little bit over 90 degrees in the knee. And then the ankles can kind of move around, tilt to the side. Got that ankle tilt working. So they look good. And I'm really happy. I mean, like I said, I was happy with the level of articulation with Starscream and Red Wing. These guys are the same mold. So really, really looking good. Really enjoying more Seekers. I'm having fun kind of army building these guys. And I'm really happy to get these 3. Wanted to do a quick group shot with all 5 that we have so far. Obviously, their giant wings make it a little difficult to pose them all together, but here we have Starscream, Redwing, Ion Storm, Acid Storm, and Nova Storm. So very excited to army build these Seekers. But you can kind of see what I mean a little bit with Redwing, where he has a little bit more pop of color. He's not just solid red, and I think that works a little bit better for him. Not to put these guys down, but I do wish they just had a little bit more color instead of just being uniform green or yellow or blue. So I'm just going to detail out the transformation with one of them because all 3 transform exactly the same. The instructions even just have one set of transformation instructions because there's no reason to print it 3 times. So I'm going to transform this guy and then I'll show you all 3 in vehicle mode. I'm just going to only show you the one. So I'm going to go ahead, take the guns off, put them to the side. You can open up the arms at the side, rotate the fist in, then you can kind of collapse these up and then close that back up. Do the same here on the other side, just like that. You're going to come to the back and unpeg these 2 kind of pylons and then kind of rotate this out just to get clearance. You have to reach your finger in to this little piece, and it's a little difficult to do. Maybe if I... But anyway, you have to get this piece out of the back, and this comes up and pegs into the back of the head. And that's just to kind of keep the head solid so that when you rotate this back in, it's easy to get out later because you could easily get it stuck. So that's kind of why they do that. It does not go all the way back in. It just kind of stops right there. You're going to take this, bring these down. I believe you rotate this around like this. You're going to pop out the chest section, and then this just kind of holds up there for a moment. You're going to push these down. You're going to push this part in. You can see how it's kind of springy. As you push that in, this is going to come up. This tab here is going to peg into the crotch, like that. So there you go. You're going to fold these up as much as you can, like that. You're going to bring the arms down, and you want to rotate these around until you see the tabs. So this is going to... Do I have the right set of tabs? Yes, I do. That should come down and peg into the side of the leg. There we go. Bring this down. Do the same. There we go. Got that all pegged in. Next, you're going to bring these forward. They will peg into each other. This whole section here will kind of drop down. You want to make sure these are straightened and still pegged in. Then you're going to drop this down. This piece will lift up and kind of come down. Hold on, I'm doing something wrong because I know this usually clears the head. These fold under like this. Hold on, I have something I have a little misaligned. I'll get it fixed. So I had it right. I just basically had to push this down. This piece flips around and pegs in here, and then this piece just pops up a little bit and covers the head. So I think the head had just come forward a little bit. I had to push it a little bit deeper down. But yeah, here is Acid Storm in vehicle mode. You can bring these guns back in. You can either peg them under the wing here, or you can peg them here on the shoulder. I personally like to put them under the wing. So I'm going to do that. And there you go. I think it's much more successful in the vehicle mode just because it has that little bit more gray, you know, highlights on the wings here, up around the canopy, tip of the nose cone. And it also has, you know, the battle damage. But overall, I just think the gray and the green work really well together. And I love the look of this guy in the vehicle mode. So I'll get the other two transformed, and then we'll take a look at all three of them. Here are all three transformed, and I have to say, they look really good. All together, they really look good in vehicle mode. Loving Ion Storm. I think he looks fantastic. Again, he has a little bit more gray to kind of break up his color scheme, so I think it works really well. Next, we have Nova Storm. I will say the canopy doesn't look as good with the yellow as it does with the green and the blue, but still very cool. And they have that kind of gunmetal gray color running throughout. They have the Decepticon symbols. So yeah, very, very happy with this pack. I think the green might be my favorite, though. Just something about the neon green. It just pops and looks really good. I think Acid Storm might be my favorite, Ion Storm my second favorite, and then Nova Storm my third, just because I'm not a huge fan of the color yellow, and I just think the darker colors work a little bit better with the gray, but he's still great. I just think the green really pops, and my eye is just constantly drawn to it, so I think that's probably my favorite color scheme out of the three. So there you have it. There is the Rainmaker 3-pack. Like I said, I'm really excited that this exists, but I'm also really happy that they did it as a 3-pack instead of just kind of endlessly parading this mold out and clogging up the Voyager slots coming for waves 5, 6, and 7. It's just a really nice way to do it. This way, it's out there. People who want it can pick it up, but we'll still be getting new characters and new figures throughout the rest of the next couple waves. So I'm really happy with the way that they did it. Like I said, my only complaint, I wish that they had a little bit of white, maybe just on the thighs or in the kind of bicep area, just to break it up a little bit. One thing I've kind of been thinking about, though, if you wanted to mix up the colors just a smidge, you could swivel their guns around just to give them a little bit of a pop of color. I mean, you would think that they would have given them all the kind of like gray color scheme blasters, but instead they just molded them in the colors. I'm going to try this. Just for fun, just to see how it looks. I mean, that's kind of neat, just to kind of mix the colors up a little bit. Obviously, you don't need to do that, but if you're happy with the uniform color scheme, but this at least just kind of gives them a little bit of a pop of color each. The only thing you can really change around on the figures, but I still really like this pack. If you're a fan of this mold, I definitely recommend picking it up. Definitely look for it at Target. I don't know if it's on any online retailers yet, but I definitely haven't really heard of anyone finding it at like Amazon or Walmart just yet. So it might be a Target exclusive. I don't know, but definitely check there first. But like I said, I like the pack because I'm a fan of the mold, and I was really happy to get more. I'm kind of army building the Seekers now. Can't wait for Thundercracker and Skywarp so we can increase the amount of Seekers to 7, which is going to be a crazy amount. So I love these guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, thank you so much for watching.